Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 2 of JDP TV. This evening, whatever time you're watching it, we have Ross Beard from Client Heartbeat on the show. Welcome, Ross.
Thanks, mate. Good to be here.
Good to have you on here. Thanks for coming out. First off, a little gift. It is, would you like a mug? Hashtag JDP mug. So I've got I didn't wrap it up, but I put some cool little bits and puns and pieces on there. So.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate. You'll have many a good cup of coffee from that. Cool. All right. So, Ross, you're from Client Heartbeat. What's like in sort of like elevator pitch? What's your role there, mate?
So I do the marketing for Client Heartbeat. So my role is to acquire customers. So whether that be through an online medium, offline medium.
So on the phone hustling as well?
Not so much on the phone.
No.
We do have a business development guy that does a bit of that sort of stuff. I'm more online marketing. Yeah, like whether that be LinkedIn, a bit of inbound marketing, Facebook search marketing, pulling people in. Very sort of passively, but then we also do a bit of push stuff as well. And then offline, we go to a lot of events, a lot of offline conferences, expos, just basically trying to get our brand out there in the marketplace.
That's good. Awesome. So I mean, you were saying with regards to what would be the best business for you guys? Like here, let's just break it down to here in Brisbane because our little show is just here in Brisbane. But like companies like, would a company like Audis be a good target client for you guys, or? Because you've got some customers here on the customer page. IT services companies. Yeah,
we've got a lot of IT services and support companies on board. We've got over 300 in and around the world, and up to about 10, I think, in Brisbane. So anybody that has that ongoing relationship with their clients, which is worth a reasonable amount of money, is where we come into it. Because if they lose a customer, it's worth a lot. It's worth a lot for them. And oftentimes the best ones that love our tool are ones that maybe don't quite have that personal relationship that they once had. They've grown a bit too big. Now they have someone else, looking after it.
They pop this tool in and it sort of just will monitor stuff.
It monitors satisfaction. It gives them a bit more of a holistic view of how happy their customers are. And there's some neat reporting tools so they can see if the employees are doing a good job when it comes to keeping their customers happy.
Helps track it all around. Yeah, cool. Oh, awesome. So that's Client Heartbeat. Let's just swing the conversation in a similar direction to online content. Is there anything at the moment that you're extremely passionate about, or something a bit of a controversial topic that's spinning around in the online content world right now? It is October 2013. Time's moving fast. Anything, like just throw it.
Yeah, the big thing at the moment, my thoughts is with a lot of the search engine optimization, SEO sort of stuff. What we've taken our approach with what we do a lot of blogs, a lot of content with Client Heartbeat, and our approach has been not to sort of search engine optimize everything so much so that you can get visitors, but it's more about delivering good content. And there's been a release, or there's been a lot of talk lately in the digital space about Google bringing out these algorithms and people confirming that no longer is it good enough to just sort of produce content. It needs to be really good content, which
because everyone just takes a piss.
Exactly. It's got to be good content. The biggest thing that I drive home at Client Heartbeat is good content that solves problems. So if someone searches on Google for customer retention strategies, right? That's something that we help people solve. Customer retention.
Absolutely. It's your core business. It's like JDP finds you good developers.
Yeah, we help you retain more customers. So the idea that we play with the blogs and the content strategy is that we've got to solve the problem in that blog article. We can't have them going to another site, clicking back on Google, and then clicking on another result. And what's happening now is there's been a few of the gurus in the space saying, look, if you have bad bounce rates on your pages, if people are clicking through to your blog articles and then coming back, Google is all tracking that because they've got the Google Analytics on your site.
To track everything,
they've got everything. So they'll actually see that, hey, look, people are coming to your site, but they're not finding out what they want from that specific search term. They come back, they click someone else's result, and that's bad news for you because you've just been duped. And what happens is, if that happens, multiple times, you're going to then get dropped in the rankings because Google will say, hey, look, that specific blog post for that specific term isn't relevant. So then you get dropped.
Yeah.
So what we found is our content strategy has been really about the content, and as a result, I think we've really benefited from the latest algorithm updates because we focus on solving real problems rather than just doing it for the sake of it.
So say obviously, like for the non-techie crowd that obviously we've got on the show here, and obviously we've got a lot of techs that obviously check this out. But what Ross was sort of saying there as well, this is for the non-techs, that obviously you've got Google, who's the platform that a lot of people, everyone knows what Google is. So you search on there, and a lot of companies are sort of taking the piss and trying to get to the top all the time. So Google's forever trying to level the playing field with their algorithms that they put out, so that this can be a lot more fairer. And obviously all the time they're going for rich, genuine content to get companies up to the top. So otherwise you've got porn sites and gambling sites and all sorts of different sites. Not meaning to name down on those guys, but they've got those sorts of sites that are constantly just ranking to the top because they naturally get a lot of hits. And what Google's doing is obviously leveling the playing field. This is a bit like, so they're constantly changing things to keep up to date with everyone, because everyone always figures out a way to go behind their back. Constantly, it's like with hackers, and everyone knows what hackers is. Hackers are constantly figuring out new ways to break in and steal things and fraud and that sort of thing. So it's a similar sort of thing, SEO and hackers, and that's the way it sort of works, which is pretty much a non-techie sort of a way to describe things. But no, cool. So we were saying just there in the break that you guys have gone from XYZ number to ABC number.
Yeah, so our content strategy has been reasonably aggressive. So we've gone from 500 visits on our blog in around May to we're on track to hit 10,000 visits this month.
Far out.
So yeah, and I mean it doesn't take all the marketers out there.
Little Klein Heartbeat.
It's a little Klein Heartbeat. We're hanging out in 8 Mile Plains.
We'll give an extra couple hundred hits from this TV show.
but yeah, I mean my advice to any of the marketers out there or the digital guys that are looking at inbound marketing is you've just got to be consistent with your content. We haven't done too much, like maybe 6 articles a month, being pretty consistent over the last 4 months, and just being a bit more strategic about it. And look, and those visitors for us are now turning into customers. So they turn into money. That's the big thing that a lot of people are throwing out. Yeah, at the moment is the ROI from inbound. It's like inbound content marketing. It's like, well, where's the ROI? If you're strategic about it, we're bringing in 30 new signups a month from our inbound strategy now.
Wow.
So that turns into pretty big money.
So you guys are looking at kicking on in through to next year then, and it's...
Yeah, things are going well.
Because obviously you guys are a startup.
You
can't forget that. You guys got an investor, you've got someone who's sunk a bit of cash into the business. So it's touch and go.
Yeah.
In a sense, you get good people on, and that's awesome.
Yeah, we're doing well. I think like any startup or business, everybody doesn't know about you, and I think particularly with tech companies and with the markets that we target, they're very traditional guys, and we've been told, look, we don't buy anything from a company that hasn't been around for 6 months or so because they've been duped in the past. So now we're hitting this point where we've got people coming back that we first touched base with in March and April, and it's been that 6 months, and now they trust us. We've worked pretty hard with building solid relationships.
And that's what I think it is. That's what I think selling is. 2013 selling, it's genuine relationship and thinking about the long term. And obviously, as my business partner Kieran always says, you've got to have a good short term plan for the long term, which is fair enough. But I think a lot of the emphasis, obviously, as in our game, as in your game as well, has to be on that long term. Like, what's going to happen 5-10 years down the track, and if we're still around and we're massive and we're doing awesome, that's what you set the business up for. Oh, cool, man. That's awesome. So, swinging it a bit back around, I know we sort of chat a lot on Twitter, at Ross Beard. Obviously, the tag will be along the bottom here at some point, thanks to Spence. How are you finding, I mean, obviously you just sort of hang out on there and chat to people and that sort of thing, and you're not purely sort of using that as a new business development tool as such, are you really?
In terms of Twitter, we found that our audience isn't so much on Twitter, but that's our audience. You know, we're talking IT service guys that are like, you know, the traditional...
We find that as well in IT infrastructure.
Yeah.
So, and Adam Broadbent and Anthony Bose, they call themselves the plumbers of IT,
yeah.
which is true. And their audience not so much, whereas we're web developers, ongoing content guys, you guys are all over Twitter.
Yeah, we're all over it, yeah. So I love it from a personal perspective, but from a business standpoint, to your question, we tried it. We went pretty hard for a few months with Twitter. And it's our market wasn't as responsive. You know, there's been other channels that have been better for us, like LinkedIn. LinkedIn's massive for us. So I actually have probably spent a bit more time with LinkedIn as opposed to Twitter. But that's not to say I'm not on there.
No, I know you guys are on there. You switched on and you're cracking along with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's ironic that we were just talking about long term, and then he spent a couple months on that and he didn't find it worked.
Hey, we're a startup.
No, I understand. And like, you guys are a startup, so that's where you guys are like, I've listened to really good mentors and speakers and people that talk about, look, you know, when you are a startup, you've got to know when to switch paths really quickly and just really run things out and be smart about stuff. But you guys are still on Twitter. You're still switched on. If someone hits you up there, you're going to be on it within half an hour, lit the max.
Yeah.
So as long as if you completely off it, but yeah, just to sort of recap, so I can see the pattern of how that conversation sort of went. But no, it's cool. No, awesome. Very awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, dude. Enjoy your mug.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you going to be coming along to JDP Hunt, which is the treasure hunt that we're going to have on?
Yeah, tell me about it. I've heard a bit about it.
I won't go on too much about it, because I know Kieran wants to do a little bit of a video on that, but it's pretty much Kieran's organising it. It's his baby. When he mentioned it a couple of months ago, I was like, nah, it's not going to work. No one's going to turn up. And the interest around the different social media platforms that JDP runs has been good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be eating humble pie. We'll probably have anywhere from 20 to 50 people rock up, I reckon. Who knows?
I'll be there. It sounds fun.
It's $2,000 cash, and it's going to be stopping in at a bar somewhere in Brisbane. I can't reveal too many more details.
Yeah.
But it's going to stop in at a bar, and obviously, you know, we'll all have a bit of a drink and a chat at the end of it. But it's going to be, the clues and things will be divulged, and you'll have to decipher them off of social media. So it's not going to be extremely tricky or anything like that, but you will have to be smart and knowing your locations around Brisbane.
Yeah.
So it's about a 2K, Spence, 2.7 kilometre map just around sort of a patch in the Brisbane CBD. You figure out the bits and you've got to do them in chronological order. And at the end, we've checked everything off. You work in digital in Brisbane and IT. Cash is yours. So yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Cheers. All right, that wraps us up for another episode of JDP TV. Stay tuned next week. I think I'm chatting to Rachel McLean from McLean Social Media. Talk soon. Ciao. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.